Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Willis and today I'll be presenting on two projects that I completed for the Auditing with Accounting Information Systems course, or ACC 6200. Let me share my screen with you first. So the first project was an abstract paper, and we had to pick a particular area of research that we would be interested in studying, and for me I chose auditing. Luckily I'm also in the capstone course right now, so this correlated with that class very well. Specifically within auditing, I'm very interested in data analytics and the way that audits are being performed and the changes that should be coming in the future. Let's look through this paper. So one thing that I found very interesting is the history of auditing and how it particularly became useful after the stock crash. And nowadays we always think of as auditing being an essential part of business. It would have been very weird to not have that at that time. Another thing that I'm very interested in is the future of auditing. And like I said, the use of data analytics. This is going to save auditors time, but also provide a lot more accurate information by giving us the ability to look at all the data compared to just sampling, which is what we do now. It will also hopefully allow for auditors to catch fraud as soon as it occurs, compared to the way things are done now, where we audit a year after a company's financials, have already occurred. So that was very interesting for me. Next, we have the PowerPoint that I created, and we had to research a recent accounting fraud that happened in the last 3 years. And let's start this. So the company that I chose is Celadon Group Incorporated, and they are a truckload freight company based out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and they actually were a very large trucking company at their time. So what did they do? What did they mess up on? They were misleading investors by providing fake financial statements. And as I have here, assets sold were not recorded at a fair market value. And basically, I'll go on to say this later too, but they were selling old trucks at prices that were not fair market value. And obviously, we know that is not right. And this overstated their income and their earnings per share. So internal control violations. So as I have stated, in 2016, the market for trucking companies began to slowly go down, and they had a large amount of old unused trucks. And obviously they didn't want to show a loss on sale of these trucks. So the executives of the company created false invoices that were inflated. And they did this to boost their sales, and as I said earlier, also their earnings per share. Also, there was many lawsuits against this company at the time, and during 2016 to 2017, they also began selling and buying trucks from other third parties using inflated prices again, and also avoided all of their impairment charges and losses. So, of course, once you're caught for committing fraud, you're going to have consequences. Some that were included in this case were $42 million due back to shareholders and people affected. As I said, there was multiple lawsuits, and then one of the second lawsuits, there was another 20 million. They also owed 7 million in disgorgement penalties. Obviously, when a company commits fraud, it eventually leads to a loss of trust and a bad look on their brand image. And in this case, it eventually led to the company going bankrupt. And obviously, the executives were in trouble. I was surprised when I was researching. It didn't look like they were fired immediately, and they were able to find other jobs. But you can only imagine, as another company, you're probably not wanting to hire an executive that was a part of a lawsuit and a fraud case as evident as this one. So part of this project was also looking at improvements that companies can make so something like this doesn't happen again. And I believe one of the best ones is separation of duties. In this case, like I said, the executives were actually faking invoices to make sales look higher. And I just find that kind of funny. Most of the companies I've worked in, high up executives would not be the ones doing anything with the invoices, especially particular individual invoices. They could have also had a better internal audit uh, group or procedure. I mean, how was this not caught? Um, that's something they should definitely look into. And then also checks and balances. And that's very similar to the internal audit as well. Like, I just don't see how an amount this large was not being caught, or what were the senior managers who were approving the hourly associates entering in these invoices. Something should have been caught. And I think this all comes down to ethics. And as I had right here, the fraud triangle, which was very important in this case too. They had a lot of pressure because the trucking industry wasn't looking too good. They were obviously provided an opportunity because looks like they were lacking internal audit procedures, so they knew they could probably get away with it. And their rationalization, I'm sure in their mind, they thought they were actually helping the company and also the investors, because at that time it made sales look like they were increasing. I think it's important that all companies implement ethics training, and specifically in this case, they had to be lacking some type of ethic training. And also, it's very important that you enforce these ethics in your business environment and the culture of your business. And specifically, when I think of business culture, I think of my time at Publix. Um, we would have never had the idea to cheat in any way. It was always doing the right thing, and I think that's important for every business. So I do want to say thank you for watching this video, and a specific thanks to Florida Southern College and Dr. William for teaching us this auditing class this semester. I learned a lot, and it really has helped me in my current job at Polk County Public Schools going through an audit this year. Just knowing the process and what auditors are looking for, it really helped me be able to provide them the information they needed. So once again, thanks for watching and have a great day.